Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this session, we'll be talking about float. So float is used to position elements either to the left or right, allowing other elements to wrap around them. So you can see in this project we have an image, then we have a CSS file which I've already linked to the HTML file. So I'll go ahead and close this. So I'll start by creating a container which I'll give a class of Clearfix. So in this container I will include an image here. So we already have an image in our project. Then after this I will put a p tag paragraph. Let me just create two paragraphs and put some random content inside them. So I'll simply format this document. Then let me have it like 2 times. So I'll just copy this and paste this one under. So we're having 2 paragraphs here. So let's go over to the style sheet. So if I go to the style sheet, I'll simply select the image. Then I want to position it to the left, so I'll use float left. Then as you can see, when I use float left, you can see the image is on the left and other the content of the paragraph is wrapping around it. Then I can use float right. So when I use float right, you can see the image is on the right hand side, then the other contents are wrapping around it. So let me simply give this thing a height of let's say 400 pixel. Then I'll give it a width of let's say 400 px as well. So we're having this kind of setup. So the issue here in floating is after doing float, you need to do something called clear, so that the document can start flowing normally. Like if I go to the index.html, you can see that I floated the image inside this div. So as when I copy this p tag here, then paste it outside the div, under the div here, you can see that it's still floating around this image. So to fix this, you'll be using a property in CSS called clear. So how to do that is, if I go to the HTML file, you can see that this is the container of the element that is being floated. So let me just copy the class name. Then if I go to the CSS here, I can simply select that container. Then before putting the curly braces, then I use this after pseudocode, then put my curly braces. So what I'll simply do here is I will do clear right. So in the clear, I'll give it a value of right, because I floated this image to the right. That's why I'm doing a clear right. So after doing clear right, you give it a content like this, a blank content. So you create a property called content, then make it to be blank. Then after that, I'll give this a display property of table. So you can see that I've fixed the issue of the these elements wrapping around it. So if I decide to use let's say float left, you can see that this image is now floated on the left and the clear is no longer working for it. So in order to fix that, I'll use something called because I'm floating this to the left, so I will do a clear left. So when I do a clear left, you can see the document is now flowing normally. So in order to avoid doing whether it's on the left or on the right, there's also a value for this which is called clear both, which is mostly used for Clearfix. So even if I change this to float right, it's still going to clear it. So after floating an element, is a good convention to clear the container so that other documents can start flowing normally. So I'll give another example of floats with a real life example. So in the index.html, so I will start by creating a nav. So inside the nav we'll have a UL with class of Clearfix. So I'm putting this class of Clearfix so that it can handle the clearing of the float after floating the elements inside it. So I'll have an li. So inside the li I have an anchor tag. So I'll just put a random path here. Then we can call this one home. So let me copy and paste this a couple of times. So this one is home. We can call this one about or about us. Then I can call this one services. Then I can call this one blog. So I've created a nav. Inside the nav we have the other list which contains different list items. So I'll be floating the li tag. So if I go to the style sheet, I can do an li, then give it a float of left. So I'll float it left. So you can see that when I did float left, you can see how it's being arranged. Then I can remove the bullet points by using the list style, then selecting none. Then after this I'll grab the a tag, then give it a text decoration of none so that I can remove the underline. Then I would like it to have a padding so that there can be space between them. So I can give it a padding on the vertical is going to be 0, then horizontal I can give it some 10px. So you can see they are now separated from each other. Then in the nav I can just make it to have a background of blue. So I'll give it a background color of blue. Then in the a tag I'll give it a display of inline block. Then give it a color of white. Then after that I'll give it let's say okay, in the padding, in the vertical padding, so I can actually give this let's say I'll give it a 20px vertical padding. So you can see how I created navigation with float. So why I used display inline block is for this padding to take effect. So if I remove this display of inline block, you can see how it's going to look. So I wanted it to have that kind of height and width. So we have successfully created navigation with floats. Thank you for watching to the end. I hope you have subscribed to my YouTube channel. If you have not, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on the bell icon so that you can be the first to receive a notification anytime I post a video. See ya.